Welcome back, guys. We got a lot to talk about. Let's recap UFC 326 real quick. Let me start off by saying the event was kind of mid. The fights were decent. We had some finishes, but majority of them went to decision. And not to mention, the guy controlling the light, or whoever was controlling the light, what the hell were you doing? Half the time we saw complete darkness inside the octagon. That wasn't cool. And then not to mention, on the main event, it kind of blacked out for like a good 2 minutes. When it resumed, Max was already on the ground, getting his ass beat. Come on, Paramount, you gotta do better than that. Max versus Charles. Now Charles wins the decision here. Max got ragdogged, and he couldn't do shit against Charles Oliveira. Great performance overall from Charles. Gotta give it to him. Gotta give him his flowers. But that performance specifically wasn't exactly BMF. Now Kyle Barajo versus RDR. Now this fight was solid. Kyle Barajo wins a decision here. He kept his distance, avoided the takedowns coming from RDR, and ultimately landed the better shots. Good performance overall. RDR, you thought you were going to do better. I thought you were going to implement a little bit more pressure. But unfortunately, you didn't. Kyle Barajo did his thing, and he got the nod. Raul Rosas Jr. versus Rob Font. Raul Rosas wins the decision. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised. Drew Dober knocks out Michael Johnson. Now, this was honestly likely to happen. One of these guys were bound to get knocked out. If not, Michael Johnson was going to win a decision. Early on, he looked good. He was landing his shots, ultimately winning that first round. But then the second round started, and he gets KO'd. Gregory Rodriguez versus Bruno Ferreira. Gregory gets his lick back against Bruno Ferreira. But now what we do? Do we set up a third fight now? Bruno win by knockout. Gregory won by knockout. We got to get a third one, right? Dante Johnson versus Cody Brundage. This was embarrassing. Dante Johnson, you were supposed to destroy this guy, and it ended up going all the way to decision. Your stand-up looked horrible. I don't know what type of game plan you tried to bring in the octagon this fight, but it wasn't it. Work in your game, and Cody Brundage, please, someone, UFC, Dana White, get rid of this man. As for the rest of the fights, I'm not really going to waste your time. Most of them went to decision. They were okay. Alberto Montez, shout out to you for getting that sub against Ricky Torcios. That was pretty cool. And Luke Fernandez, what the hell was that? Your inexperience showed. You were a little bit too aggressive, and you got caught. You got knocked out. That's it for UFC 326. I went, pretty decent. Overall, the card, I give it like a 6.5 out of 10. But now that we're done with the recap, UFC 326, I gotta talk about the UFC White House card. Now this card is pretty stacked. Ilya Topuria versus Justin Gaethje will be the main event of the UFC White House card. R.I.P. Justin. For the co-main event, they got Alex Pereira versus Zero Gone. Now, this one should be a banger, but ultimately, we all gotta lean with Poatan. Poatan's gonna give him that left hand of destruction and knock him out within the first two. Sean O'Malley versus Ayman Sahabi. Now, the UFC knows exactly what they're doing with this. I guess Sean O'Malley's definitely going to get a victory here. It should make it look pretty easy. I don't really think highly of Ayman Sahabi. I definitely don't think he has any finishing threat against Sean O'Malley. And Sean O'Malley should just simply outpoint him and possibly get that sniping knockout victory that he wants in front of all these people in the White House. We'll see what happens. ACO Rufi versus Michael Chandler. Now this one should be an interesting fight. I wonder if Michael Chandler is ever going to use his wrestling threat, especially now in this fight against Rufi, who isn't really the greatest. You gotta wonder. But for now, I got Rufi to knock out Michael Chandler in the second round. It should be a banger. Paul Nickel versus Cal Dawkins. Now let's be honest, guys. This one doesn't belong in here. This is the odd fight out of all of them. Give me Bo Nickel to get it done. But are we interested in this fight? No, not really. Now for the opening card of the White House, we got Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia. Now this fight, guaranteed violence. This right here is my personal favorite fight from the White House card. This should be a banger. Both guys have high capabilities of finishing each other. And this one, man, should be fireworks. I'm not going to lie. As of right now, I'm going to head and lean Steve Garcia to get it done by knockout. But man, I can't wait. Guaranteed fireworks with this one. Now we move on to UFC Vegas 114, Josh Emmett versus Kevin Vallejos. And we start off with the opening fight of the night, Piera Rodriguez versus Sam Hughes 2. Now with this one, guys, Piera Rodriguez won the first fight. She took her down multiple times and secured the decision victory. Now Piera Rodriguez is a good wrestler. She mixes up her striking, her wrestling game pretty well. She likes to chain multiple takedown attempts to try to get you down. And her style is usually just control and pressure. And for Sam Hughes, she's a decent grappler herself. Very tough girl, hard to finish, good cardio as well. I got history repeating itself with this fight. I got Piera Rodriguez take her down multiple times. Similar to the first fight, avoid her strikes, use her control time to secure some more points, hit her on the ground, possibly attempt some submissions, but ultimately control her for 3 rounds. I got Piera Rodriguez to win this fight by a split decision, or if not, a 29-28 unanimous decision. So, Piera Rodriguez will be the pick. Give me her by decision. Elijah Smith versus Su Young Yu. Now with this one, guys, this one's going to be a tough matchup to predict. Despite the recent success Elijah Smith has had in the past, this one is not an easy fight. Not for neither of them. Elijah Smith is an explosive striker with good athleticism and can control the range really well. Su Young Yu, on the other hand, he's a great wrestler and generally hard to finish. Elijah Smith has to keep it standing, use his reach and his speed advantage to push the pace early on this fight. Then as for Su Young Yu, close the distance quickly, turn this fight into a grappling fight, and take him down and control him on the ground. Smith likely has the more dangerous striking attitude, especially early, but if Su Young Yu can neutralize that, like I said, and take him down, he could take over. But for now, I got Elijah Smith to win a tough decision against Su Young Yu. This one's not going to be easy. At least I don't think so. Give me Elijah Smith to win by decision. Next fight up, we got Bia Mesquita versus Monse Rendon. Now, Bia Mesquita, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champ. She's really dangerous when it comes to transitions from the top or bottom. As for Monse Rendon, she's a very tough girl to finish, has wrestling and striking experiences, and she likes to move forward and create exchanges. You guys know exactly what Mesquita has to do to win this fight. She has to take her down to the ground immediately, avoid striking exchanges with Rendon, and get that submission victory. And as for Rendon, she has to obviously do the opposite. Keep it standing, don't get taken down, and win on the feet. This fight largely comes down to whether Mesquita can actually impose her grappling against Rendon. If the fight hits the mat, Mesquita might have a massive advantage. Rendon's only path to victory is to keep it standing. So with that being said, I'm taking Bia Mesquita to win by submission. I think her grappling pedigree will show here. She can eventually take her to the mat and get that submission victory in the second round. Bia Mesquita to win by submission. Round 2. Next fight up, we got Luan Lacerda versus Hector Sosa. This one should be another solid fight. Another grappler versus striker type of fight. We got Luan, whose BJJ skills are pretty good. He's good at creating chaotic grappling situations where he often can get the submission wins. As for Hector Sosa, well-rounded guy. He can strike, he can grapple, he can slightly do everything. He likes to move forward, throw combinations. He's capable of ending the fight with strikes or submissions. Lacerda, you gotta avoid the striking exchanges early. Try to take him down, attack the back during scrambles, and avoid extended striking exchanges. As for Sosa, you gotta keep the fight standing. Use your pressure and volume striking, and force Luan into that uncomfortable striking battle that he doesn't want to be a part of. This fight likely depends on who controls the aspect of the fight. If it goes to the ground, Luan has the clear advantage. If it stays on the feet, Hector has the clear advantage. If Sosa keeps it standing, he can pressure and outstrike him. This one should be an interesting fight. But for the early pick, I'm going to go ahead and lean Hector Sosa to get it done by knockout or decision. Avoid the takedown attempts from Luan Lacerda. Try not to be in those dangerous spots where he can submit you. Definitely do not give it the back. And outstrike him, and outpoint him, and possibly knock him out. Give me Hector Sosa to get it done by knockout or decision. Next fight up, we got Vallejos versus Manuel Souza. Now this fight should be an exciting war. Vallejos, high voltage, high volume striker. He likes chaotic exchanges, he's physically strong, and he can mix things up on the ground. As for Manuel Souza, he's got some serious knockout power. He's got good boxing fundamentals. His grappling is pretty decent. He can win here in multiple ways. This should be a fun fight. Oki has to use his range and his volume here to win. He has to turn this fight into a high-paced war. And as for Souza, he has to be kind of the opposite. Stay technical and counter Oki when he comes in. Stay in the pocket and look for that perfect shot. So for the pick, give me Manuel Souza to get it done by knockout or decision. I think Oki hasn't really made any improvements, and I don't think he's going to make any improvements in this fight. I think we see the old Oki kind of come in, overly aggressive, and I think he's going to pay the price when he does that. I think he can be taken down, I think he can be controlled on the mat, and I think he can pretty much be outclassed in this fight. So with that being said, give me Manuel Souza to get it done by knockout or decision. Next fight up, we got Chris Curtis versus Murderbek Orabai. Now Chris Curtis, a veteran in the game, known for his boxing capabilities. He's a good counter striker, good durability, and has some solid takedown defense of his own. As for Orabai, young, aggressive grappler with strong physicalities who likes to push the pressure and the pace. This fight should be solid. Chris Curtis has no choice but to keep the fight standing, use his counters against Orabai, and punish Orabai when he goes for those takedowns. As for Orabai, he has to close the distance quickly, use the cage to his advantage, and control Chris Curtis on that cage, and ultimately drag him down to the ground. This fight is a classic striker versus grappling matchup. Chris Curtis definitely has the advantages on the feet, while Orabai has the advantages on the ground. If Chris Curtis keeps it standing long enough, he can definitely secure the knockout, but if Orabai continues with his pressure and takes him down multiple times, he can definitely secure the victory here. But for my pick, I'm going to go ahead and lean Orabai to get it done by decision. Next fight, we got Brad Tavares versus Eric Anders. Now, this is kind of like the who cares fight of the night, to be honest. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give you my pick early. I got Brad Tavares to get it done by decision. Don't get me wrong, this isn't going to be easy. Eric Anders is decent, I guess. He has some KO power behind those hands, and he could definitely knock out Brad Tavares. But I got Brad Tavares to keep it technical. I'll point him on the feet, avoid being taken down, and secure that W here. So with that being said, give me Brad Tavares to get it done by decision. Another close one here. Next fight up, we got Bruno Silva versus Charles Johnson. Now Bruno Silva, great grappler, great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu artist. Against Charles Johnson, a guy who's well-rounded, pretty decent everywhere on the mat. Bruno Silva has to take him down and has to submit him right away, or else he's going to get bopped all 3 rounds. That range, that distance control from Charles Johnson should come in effectively this fight. He should use his reach advantage against Silva. Avoid being taken down and avoid extended ground positions under Silva. If Johnson keeps it upright and keeps it at range, he can easily win the decision here. And if Silva successfully closes the distance and uses that cage, takes him down, and controls him on the mat, he can pretty much sub him too if he has a chance. But for my prediction, I'm going to go ahead and lean Charles Johnson to get it done by decision. 29-28 again. Next fight up, we got Victor Petrino versus Steven Asplund. Now you got to ask yourself, is it too soon for Steven? Quite frankly, I do think he got a fair chance against Victor Petrino here. Victor Petrino does tend to gas out. And Steven Asplund, coming from 500 pounds to 200 something, that dude definitely got cardio now. He could definitely outpace and outstrike Victor Petrino if he gets into those deep waters, and Victor Petrino tends to gas out. I think Victor Petrino has to mix up his striking and takedown ability to disrupt Steven Asplund's rhythm. He definitely has to use his pressure and combinations to minimize that reach advantage that Steven Asplund's going to have. Avoid standing long, avoid backing up linearly, and you should be good against Steve. This should be a great fight. Either guy can win by TKO, but for me, give me the guy with more experience. I'm going to go ahead and take Victor Petrino. I think he has the more tool sets to get the job done here. He could definitely take him down, win on the feet. As long as he avoids the big punches from Steven Asplund, he should be good. So with that being said, give me Victor Petrino to get it done by submission or TKO. Next fight up, we got Marwan Rahiki versus Harry Hardwick. Now for this one, guys, Marwan Rahiki, he's a young prospect who handles pressure really well and he often stays busy. Now Harry Hardwick, on the other hand, pretty experienced guy, got way more fights than Rahiki. He's pretty well rounded. Rahiki has to have a high pace and has to have the high volume in this fight if he wants to win. He has to avoid the prolonged grappling drags and exploit the openings for early finishes. As for Hardwick, he has to use his experience to his advantage. He has to strike and he has to grapple. I think Rahiki's youth, his volume, and his pace ultimately gives him the advantage in this fight. Rahiki definitely going to put it on him early, and Hardwick definitely going to have to withstand that storm in the first or second round, ultimately wait for Rahiki to slow down and implement his game plan. But by then, I think it'll be too late. Give me Marwan Rahiki to win by knockout or a decision. Next fight up, we got Andre Fili versus Jose Delgado. Now this one should be a banger. Andre Fili, a great fighter, experienced fighter, very versatile, has wins coming from submissions and knockouts, with good striking fundamentals and solid durability. Versus Jose Delgado, a guy who doesn't see the judges. All of his wins come by finish. He has explosive power and a good submission game. Fili definitely has to use his experience against Jose Delgado this fight. He definitely has to drag it to deep waters and use that stand-up against Jose. But that's definitely a hard ask considering Jose Delgado is nice on the stand-up. Fili definitely has to mix the striking and the takedown capabilities that he has to take this one to the ground. As for Delgado, he has to do opposite. He has to explode early, hit Andre Fili with his best shots, and ultimately knock him down. This one's going to be a real experience versus explosive battle. Delgado's definitely the more likely one to end the fight due to his power, and Fili can definitely control the pace and the pressure and swing this out to the late rounds. But for this fight, guys, I don't got to go into the third. Unfortunately, I got Andre Fili getting caught by this guy in the first or second round. Jose Delgado was genuinely a problem. He's really exciting to watch. Give me Jose Delgado to win by knockout. Next fight up, we got Umar Sy versus Ion Cutelaba. Umar Sy, well-rounded guy, well-rounded finishing ability, uses that tall frame and reach advantage to secure finishes. He also has great takedown defense and can definitely control the fights. Ion Cutelaba, a veteran in the game, known for his explosiveness, his explosive strikes, and explosive takedowns. In this fight, Umar Sy definitely has to maintain his range using his kicks and his punches against Ion Cutelaba. He's definitely going to have to mix it up, maybe implement some takedowns, keep Ion Cutelaba guessing. And as for Ion Cutelaba, use that wrestling pressure, try to get Umar Sy to the ground and use that ground and pound to your advantage. But this matchup is definitely experience versus the physical upside. And with that being said, I got the physical upside of Umar Sy to get it done by decision. I think ultimately Ion Cutelaba won't be able to take him down, won't be able to outstrike him on the feet. He's going to lose a 30-27 decision to Umar Sy. Ion Cutelaba, your best chance. Definitely needs to take him down. Definitely don't think you'll be able to. But you can probably land that one knockout shot. But I don't think that's going to happen. Give me Umar Sy to win a dominant decision, 30-27. Next fight, we got the co-main event of the evening, Julian Robertson versus Amanda Lemos. Amanda Lemos, definitely a good striker who can mix things up, and that girl definitely has power behind her hands. Now, Julian Robertson, elite submission girl, elite takedowns, can definitely get any girl to the mat. And for this fight, guys, Lemos definitely has to keep it on the feet, avoid the takedowns from Julian, similar to what she did against Tatiana Suarez. Julian Robertson's definitely going to close the distance. She's definitely going to hunt for those takedowns aggressively. And if she gets you to the ground, she's definitely going to look for that submission. This is a classic striker wrestler versus grappling fight. Amanda Lemos definitely can use the striking and power to her advantage. She can probably land some takedowns of her own. But give me Julian Robertson to avoid the power of Amanda Lemos, land some takedowns of her own, keep her on the ground, and ultimately win a submission or a decision. Now for the main event of the evening, we got Josh Emmett versus Kevin Vallejos. Now I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. Josh Emmett is 41 versus the young prospect in Kevin Vallejos. You know what the UFC is doing here. Perfect spot for Kevin Vallejos to showcase his skills. This should be an interesting fight. Ilya Taporia wasn't able to put out Josh Emmett, so we'll see if Kevin Vallejos can. I gotta go Kevin Vallejos to get this one done. I think he's definitely gonna outstrike Josh Emmett, avoid those big shots from Josh Emmett. I don't think Josh Emmett's gonna implement that Giga Chikadze style where he leg kicked Kevin Vallejos a million times in the body and was definitely effective. Kevin Vallejos definitely learned from that fight. He'll definitely implement that pressure, hurt Josh Emmett if possible, maybe put him out. The dude is definitely very physical and aggressive. Kevin Vallejos, that is. So give me Kevin Vallejos to get it done by late finish or a decision, a dominant one. That's it for the video, guys. If you like what you see, please comment, like, subscribe. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.